Do you have an actual plan at this point for health care?
Probably not.
Yes, we have concepts of a plan that would be better.
Still just concepts? Do you have a fully developed plan?
Let me explain.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have a full plan. There's no plan. No.
What was that? What the fuck is wrong with her? This lady literally hates this man. He's thinking.
We have
Single pay going to hurt the lower and middle income way too much. 50% taxes, wage too high.
the biggest healthcare company.
Still just concepts. The plan is no plan. Why are her eyes like that? Does she do cocaine? I don't like her.
He's looking at it. We have doctors. We're always looking because Obamacare stinks. It's lousy. There are better answers. If we come up with a better
I think that RFK, what they need to do whenever he gets in charge, assuming that happens, right? Big assume. But they need to make it to where you can't take electives in high school that...
Bro just acting like bikes and electric scooters don't exist. Not even to mention a lot of the people in my town just walk to work. I'm so sorry, my friend. Okay? The difference between me and you is that I'll just look at stats and numbers to figure out what's going on, and then I'll talk to a lot of people to try to flesh out my opinion more if I need to. You have your one lived experience, and then you scream it in my chat, and then you just say that I'm out of touch when you are giving one of the most niche... What did that poll say? Was it 1% of people who walk to work? What percentage of people in the United States of America even have the opportunity to walk to work? Like, I'm sorry, but you're just giving a fucking delusional take. 1% used a bicycle, 2% walked. Fuck out of here.
Replace physical...
How many people work from home in that poll? It's at 15%, which is a huge number. I wonder if that went up after COVID. Yes, holy shit. In 2019, it was 6%, then 7%, then 18%, and then 15%. Almost tripled. Damn.
Education. And physical education is mandatory for everybody. Because the real issue... You can't take electives in high school that replace physical education. And physical education is mandatory for everybody. Because the real issue, the reason why people need health...
I'm sorry, just as a quick thing, PE in high school wouldn't do fuck all for improving the health of the United States. Like, it might be better than nothing. Well, also, what the fuck do you think PE is? Wait, what was... I'm sorry. Sorry, hold on, let me back up. Because maybe my schooling experience was different. What was PE for you guys in high school? Because it was like a health class for us. Like, sometimes we did, I think, we did like basketball or random shit, but generally it was like in class and it was a health class, and you wrote about like, I don't even remember what the fuck, like a health bio or health sciences, basically. I guess if instead of PE, if it was literally just like you had to fucking go to the gym for 45 minutes, that would maybe be good. But
healthcare, they need more healthcare. It's because everybody's fat and they don't do anything. Like, if you go back and you look at, like, you know, videos and photos of, like, you know, high schools back in the day, people were in much better shape than they are now.
Yeah, but you have to. The food is the most important part to address here. The adding the gym or health bullshit will make that's like a 2% improvement, and like food is like a 90% improvement.
Like, I see, like, I'm driving, you know, to fucking Burger King, and I see like all the high school kids. There's so many fat kids. Holy shit! Look at all the hogs, the little piglets walking around. Can't have that. What is that? No. Fucking yeah, consumption's bad. Yeah, exactly.
Answer. I would present that answer to Democrats.
Even elementary school. Like, you see all the little piglets walking home from school. You shouldn't be 170 pounds if you're in 4th grade. That's too much. Stop eating food. Eat too much. Yeah. And you have physical education become mandatory. JFK.
The market can't solve for roads the exact same way it does for healthcare. Roads necessarily has to be a public good, and healthcare does not. It's simple theory. I don't know what that statement even means. There's a lot of public good in investing in healthcare because we all have to bear the cost publicly, and we all benefit from having healthy citizens. And I think there are a lot of external failures when it comes to healthcare. That's why there's so much government involvement in healthcare already, even though it is a quote-unquote private market.
Okay, actually had a national mandate for exercising our youth. His speech even speaks to it, and about not being right seeing a chubby child. I completely agree with that. I do, like 100%. And I think also it's going to help. So, like, the issue is that being fat and being unhealthy is something that causes secondary effects and tertiary effects as well. So, like, basically there's this...
Didn't you guys do the fitness gram pacer test? No, I think, because I went to a private school, I don't think we had that. That might have only been a public school thing.
Causes secondary effects and tertiary effects as well. So, like, basically there's this second order effect of being fat that now you have low self-esteem. And then the third order effect of now you have depression because girls don't want to talk to you because you're fucking fat. So if RFK puts your fat ass on a treadmill and you're not fat and you look normal, well, then maybe they'd be wanting to talk to you. You wouldn't have as much depression.
If I was Barack, I would be having my fucking wife on a 24/7 psychiatric hold for the next 2 years. Because if I was Michelle Obama, I would fucking kill myself hearing conservatives finally pretending to give a fuck about the health of children in schools when this was like her whole fucking push, and conservatives basically shit on her for the entire 4 years that she was like pushing this. They shit on her so much for, you want to make vegetables and blah, 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 the government overreach, blah. They attacked Michelle so much over this. And now all of a sudden they're...
You wouldn't feel fucking upset and everything would be fine. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you have less incels. That's it. You look at the symptoms and you don't fix the disease. That's the problem. I heavily disagree with this being a legal mandate. I don't. I think that schools right now...
Healthcare does not have to be a public good. Roads do have to be public goods. I don't know what you mean by that. That's not necessarily true. We have private roads. That's what a turnpike is. You could theoretically have private roads. You could just charge people fees for... I was shooting heroin and reading The Fountainhead in the front seat of my privately owned police cruiser when a call came in. I put a quarter in the radio to activate it. It was the chief. Bad news, detective. We got a situation. What? Is the mayor trying to ban trans fats again? Worse. Somebody just stole $447 million worth of bitcoins. The heroin needle practically fell out of my arm. What kind of monster would do something like that? Bitcoins are the ultimate currency. Virtual, anonymous, stateless. They represent true economic freedom, not subject to arbitrary manipulation by any government. Do we have any leads? Not yet, but mark my words. We're going to figure out who did this. We're going to take them down, provided someone pays us a fair market rate to do so. Easy, Chief, I said. Any rate the market offers is, by definition, fair. He laughed. That's why you're the best I got, Lazowski. Now you get out there and find those bitcoins. Don't worry, I said. I'm on it. I put a quarter in the siren. 10 minutes later, I was on the scene. It was a normal office building, strangled on all sides by public sidewalks. I hopped over them and I went inside. Home Depot presents the police, I said, flashing my badge and my gun and a small picture of Ron Paul. Nobody moves unless you want to. They didn't. Now, which one of you punks is going to pay me to investigate this crime? No one spoke up. Come on, I said. Don't you all understand that the protection of private property is the foundation of all personal liberty? It didn't seem like they did. Seriously, guys, without a strong economic motivator, I'm just going to stand here and not solve this case. Cash is fine, but I prefer being paid in gold bullion or autographed Penn Jillette posters. Nothing. These people were stonewalling me. It almost seemed like they didn't care that a fortune in computer money invented to buy drugs was missing. I figured I could wait them out. I lit several cigarettes indoors. A pregnant lady coughed, and I told her that secondhand smoke is a myth. Just then, a man in glasses made a break for it. Subway, eat fresh and freeze, scumbag, I yelled. Too late, he was already out the front door. I went after him. Stop right there, I yelled as I ran. He was faster than me because I always try to avoid stepping on public sidewalks. Our country needs a private sidewalk voucher system, but thanks to the incestuous interplay between our corrupt federal government and the public sidewalk lobby, it'll never happen. I was losing him. Listen, I'll pay you to stop, I yelled. What would you consider an appropriate price point for stopping? I'll offer you a 1/13 of an ounce of gold and a gently worn Bob Barr 2008 extra large long-sleeved men's t-shirt. He turned. In his hand was a revolver, and the Constitution said that he had every right to own. He fired at me and missed. I pulled my own gun, put a quarter in it, and fired back. The bullet lodged in a USPS mailbox less than a foot from his head. I shot the mailbox again, on purpose. All right, the man yelled, throwing down his weapon. I give up, cop. I confess. I took the bitcoins. Why'd you do it? I asked, as I slapped a pair of Oiko's Greek yogurt presents handcuffs on the guy. Because I was afraid. Afraid? Afraid of an economic future, free from the pernicious meddling of central bankers, he said. I am a central banker. I wanted to cold cock the guy. Years ago, a central banker killed my partner. Instead, I shook my head. Let this be a message to all your central banker friends out in the street, I said. No matter how many bitcoins you steal, you'll never take away the dream of an open society based on the principles of personal and economic freedom. He nodded because he knew I was right. Then he swiped his credit card to pay me. I don't know why we read this.
And also, it is a legal mandate now. Like, you're required to take physical education in a lot of places. All I'm saying is that you change that to where you can't take art and replace that. Drawing anime girls should not replace walking a mile. It doesn't make sense.
What if we drew and walked at the same time?
Everybody else, and I do something about it. But until we have that, or until they can approve it, but we're not going to go through the big deal. I am the one that saved Obamacare, I will say, and I did the right thing. I could have done the more political thing and killed it, and all I had to do is starve it to death.
You did try to have your Justice Department effectively kill it, though,
No.
sir.
Kill it.
Oh, and then another thing?
I like how he just stops it like every time there's something critical of. Oh. He's not even like commenting. He just doesn't even care.
Is that for all school meals, meat only. You have hamburgers on Mondays and Thursdays. You have chicken on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then on Friday, you got steak. Vegans, as I said, meat only. We want people to be healthy. Maybe you can make a garden out in the back for
What, is he trolling? Or
like the rabbits or something, and then the vegans can go out there. Maybe have fish. Yeah, fish alternative. Meat every day. That's the way it is. What about fish? Fish is fine.
From a legal standpoint,
Yep.
but from a physical standpoint, I made it work.
In your concepts of a plan, sir, will people with pre-existing conditions still have coverage? And can you guarantee their prices will not go up?
The answer is yes. They'll have coverage. You have to have it.
And what about their
Because
prices?
you know what?
What about their prices, sir?
I want the prices to go down. I want to have better health care for less money. And there are ways of doing it, I believe. And I
You
have
have to take out the middlemen that are making money off of it for no fucking reason. I mean, I gotta say, like, Luigi was right with that. Like, healthcare insurance is a fucking scam. It shouldn't exist.
true. Based king.
You shouldn't shoot the people that work there, but he was fucking right. He's completely right.
I have the smartest people in that world. You know, that's a separate world unto itself. I have the smartest people in that world looking at it and trying. And if they come up with something, I will present it. Now, maybe you won't be able to sell it, but
Yep.
if we get better health care for less money, I believe it's very saleable.
Just very quickly, when will we see your fully developed plan? When are you
Well,
going to
I
show
don't know
the
that you'll
public
see it at all. I can only say that we have some of the best healthcare people. I've always
That's reassuring.
tinkered with it. I think it's a little hard to explain. Obamacare, when I took it over, was a disaster. And I made it
It has insured
workable.
20 million people.
Yeah, because of me. Because of me.
Oh man, Jesus.
If you look at what
Yeah.
I did, I was
You
the
tried
one.
to-
I made it good.
You
yeah,
tried to
legally.
repeal and replace it. You tried to
Because
kill
if I
it,
repealed
sir.
it and replaced it, we would have had a better system because we wouldn't have had health care. And the Democrats would have been forced to do something. If we wouldn't have had it, the Democrats would have been forced to do something that they wouldn't do if we have it.
Yep. Insurance companies fine. They just need
I just what is the I don't know.
regulation. In Europe, you have it, and they basically can't deny anything. Hospital deals with them directly. You never hear anything about it. It's just like utilities. Yeah, maybe that'd be a better solution. Yeah, sure.
That what? Wait.
They wouldn't do if we have it.
Yep. Insurance companies fine. They just need regulation. In Europe, you have it, and they basically can't deny anything. Hospital deals with them directly. You never hear anything about it. It's just like utilities. Yeah, maybe that'd be a better solution. Yeah, sure.
Oh, I mean this is just like single payer basically, right?
It was a disaster because of Obama. Saved 20 million because of him. This guy's dope. Yeah, for sure. So, Wade, want to say Conda's been great lately? Thanks, man. Yeah. Was Obamacare really that bad? It helped me a lot when I needed coverage. Obamacare had a lot of good things, like, for example, how you couldn't deny people for pre-existing conditions. The thing is that a lot of people, it was so long ago now, people don't remember how much of trouble it was for people to get healthcare coverage when you could deny them based off of pre-existing conditions.
True.
So it's kind of like an issue where basically, so it increased the cost.
Did you crank the saturation of camera? No, the color spaces that this camera I think naturally shoots in doesn't play well with OBS. So somebody gave me a LUT for it. If you think it's too saturated, then send me a different LUT for the camera. Get fucked.
Because obviously, like, the reason why okay, so let me take a step back. How do insurance companies make money? They make money by averaging against actuarial tables, which are basically degrees of risk. It's they look at somebody's age, they look at all of their demographics, and then they have a calculator for how much money this person will probably cost. So basically, when you have to add in people that are really big draws on that. So like, for example,
I'm fucking shocked. I would have bet so much money that he would have absolutely no idea how any of this works. So I'm shocked that he understands this. But
add in somebody who's disabled, right? Somebody has cerebral palsy, for example. This is going to massively increase the average. So if you have an average of people that are relatively healthy, you can afford to keep your premiums lower and maintain the same profit, right? And so, again, the profit you could say is the problem, but this is a for-profit company, so we're just going to assume that that's what's going to happen. And so what happens is that the insurance companies, what they do is they effectively try to take the people out of the system that would cost a lot of money. Because, like, these are the people, the extremes, that raise everybody else's costs up. And so that's what the insurance companies used to do, and then they became compelled to have to give them insurance anyway, which is how it should have been. Oh.
wait, say that last part again?
And so that's what the insurance companies used to do, and then they became compelled to have to give them insurance anyway, which is how it should have been. Oh. Bro, he's not even the president, he's doing this shit. State 51. It was a pleasure to have dinner the other night with a huge wedge issue with a lot of people. I never said... This can't be real? I used to think that. Jesus, how's he posting this much?
They do this, but their profits aren't directly from premium deltas. Where else do insurance companies' revenue come from besides premiums? What other revenues do they have? I genuinely don't know. What are insurance companies' largest revenues? Health insurance. Investing? In what? In like T-bonds or like the market? Or, oh, Statista, this dog shit fucking website. I hate this site. I don't trust it. The same as pension, they do market investments. Gotcha. Well, wait, if you say page 41. Well, if you say investments, though, investments are made off of their premiums, right? Revenues. United Health Group. Is this in millions of dollars? In millions. Okay. So off of premiums, they made $290 billion. Products, $42 billion. Services, $34 billion. Investments and other incomes, $4 billion. Wait, does anybody have any other source on the investment part, or did all of you just collectively make that up? Anybody? I'm going to use the restroom real quick. When I come back, there better be a post in here about them making a huge amount of money from investments, or else I'm going back and I'm banning every fucking person that said that. Be right back. 1 sec. All right, I'm back. Did somebody find the investment income link? Nope. Okay, gotcha. So we just... Interesting. We just made all that up. Okay. Destiny, what do you feel about this? A Florida woman has been charged for ending a call with Blue Cross Blue Shield with the words, delay, deny, depose. You people are next. She was charged with threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism, and her bond was set at $100,000. Destiny, it is true for insurance companies more broadly. Why? Who cares? We're not talking about insurance companies more broadly. We are talking about health insurance companies, which are regulated probably a lot differently than the other insurance companies. Damn, it's pretty brutal. I mute the video in the bottom.
This
right.
case appeared clear blemishes.
Nope, too late.
He doesn't give a fuck. He actually doesn't give a fuck now. This is going to be insane. America is going to start building monuments again. Any person investing $1 billion or more in the United States will receive fully expedited approvals and permits. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. Oh, this is him retweeting Biden falling asleep. President of our lifetime about him. Oh my fucking God.
Let's talk about Project 2025. This is the conservative policy blueprint. You disavowed it during the campaign. You called it a product of the radical right.
Yeah.
You've said some of their ideas were abysmal.
I said some of it is. Some of it is very...
I love how he gets elected. I never said... Of course we're going to do Project 2025. Yeah, I mean, duh.
Very good. Some
Okay.
of it's very mainstream, actually. Frankly, the Democrats should have used some of it because they went, you know, with all the transgender that they were doing and with the men playing in women's sports. Well, if they wouldn't have done that, maybe they would have done better.
Well,
Trump's right. He's completely right. This was a huge wedge issue with a lot of people because it was a direct insult to people's intelligence.
so you take me to my question.
With a lot.
They would have done better.
Well,
With the men playing in women's sports. If they wouldn't have done that, maybe they would have done better.
well,
Trump's right. He's completely right.
Why? Like, notice like how selective it is for the shit that he gives a fuck about, like the deportation of the revoking birthright citizenship, like all the wacky, goofy things he said before. Like these are just like kind of, he's like not even listening. And then it's like trans people. Oh yeah, he's absolutely correct. This is a huge issue. Thanks, Nate, for giving 11 subs.
This was a huge wedge issue with a lot of people because it was a direct insult to people's intelligence.
So you
He's
take me to my
totally right.
question. You're now giving people involved in Project 2025 prominent roles in your administration. Are you changing your mind about Project 2025? Is this now the policy blueprint for the second Trump administration?
Some people, if you take a look at the group, it was hundreds of people were involved. And I was actually, I reprimanded the whole group. I said, you shouldn't have placed this document in front of the voters because I have nothing to do with it and I'm the one that's running. You had no right to do this where you put a 1,000-page document in front, and many of those things I disagree with. Now, many of those things I happen to agree with. Many of those things Democrats
After he said he hasn't read or doesn't know anything. Okay.
should have agreed to. And I think they would have done much better in the election because they got slaughtered.
Well, I guess people see the list: Russ Vought, Brendan Carr, Peter Navarro, John Ratcliffe, Pete Hoekstra, Monica Crowley.
The inventor has some intentions. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, you know, that she's not a fan of Trump. Yeah.
This is why you should feel bad if you're in the mainstream media. You should also feel bad because you're doing all this work just to try to get them to respect you, and they won't. These people are authoritarians. These people are fashy fucks. They're not going to respect you ever, right? Asmongold doesn't give a fuck that this is one of the most this isn't even softball. This is T-ball. This is one of the most T-ball interviews I've ever seen in my fucking life. And dipshits like this chud fuck are still saying things like, oh yeah, well, you know, it's obvious that she fucking hates Trump. Like, oh, she's trying to set him up so much she's trying to trigger him with the picture. Like, why are you even trying? Why not just like do a real interview? You're never, ever, ever getting people like this to say that you're doing a good job. You're never going to do it. So why not just...
They think these are all of the people who are involved in or writing Project 2025. This must be a blueprint for work requirements, eliminating the Head Start program, criminalizing pornography. Is that what we can expect to see?